Oke ya.
Oke. Mulai ya.
Oke, mulai.
Oke. Selamat malam teman-teman semua. Selamat bergabung kembali bersama kita Komunitas Chan Indonesia dalam berlatih dan belajar Dharma bersama. Lebih terang ya, lebih. Seperti biasanya, kita akan memulai sesi latihan kita dengan melakukan gerak berkesadaran. 8 moving meditation yang manfaatnya untuk menyelaraskan tubuh dan pikiran kita yang telah aktif beraktivitas seharian. Setelah tubuh dan pikiran telah terselaraskan, baru kita akan sama-sama memasuki meditasi duduk bersama. Setelah itu akan ditutupi dengan body massage berkesadaran. Baru setelah itu kita akan sama-sama mengundang guru kita, Shifu, untuk memberikan Dhamma teaching kepada kita semua. Langsung saja kita latihannya malam ini, moving meditation. Selamat berlatih teman-teman. Duduk. Kita tunggu sebentar, batuan videonya.
Good day, everyone. We will begin with the exercise. When we do the exercise, remember always use our body as a grounding place and fully aware of the movements of the body, the sensation of the body. When we are aware of the movement of the body, is to aware of the main part first and then continue on to the entire body. So we will begin with the warm-up exercise. First of all, stand with feet apart, and the width of the feet is the same with the width of our shoulders, and our feet are parallel. The first one is to swing your arms left and right wide, turn your body left and right. One hand will tap on the shoulder, and the other hand will tap on the back. Fully aware of the movements of the waist, the movements of our arms and palms, and aware of the movements of the entire body. Relax the entire body, aware of the sensations of the body. If you're thinking of something else, aware of it and return to your body. Your body is a grounding place. Enjoy the time that you're here and now. Gently come to a pause, feet together, join your palms. Next is the waist movement. Stand with feet apart, parallel and shoulder width. Hold your palms to your waist, bend your waist to the left, front, right, and back. Rotate your waist 360 degrees. Fully aware of the movements of the waist that guiding the entire body. Reverse direction to your right, front, left, back, your movements are very smooth, gentle, relax. Enjoy your movements right there. Return to the upright position. Join your palms, feet together. Next is to swing your arms back and forth while bend your knees up and down. Stand with feet apart, parallel and shoulder width. Aware of the movements of your arms. While swing your arms, try so that your arm is not higher than the shoulder. Gently come to a pause, feet together, join your palms. Next is knees movements. Place your palms to your thighs and bend your knees starting from the left, down, right and up. When bending down a little bit, your upper body will also slightly bend down. Reverse direction. Return to the upright position. Next is extend left and right. Stand so that your feet forming a V and join your palms. Step to the left. Extend your arms. Your head also turn to the direction of the left. Now, first of all, the knees that in the front should not be over the tips of your toes. The second thing is that the two arms are in the same level, not that one is higher than the other. Return. Right. Return. Left. Return. Right. Return. Left. Return. Right. Return. Join your palms. Bow. So we are ready for meditation. You loosen everything that is tight in your body, and then sit on the cushion. Start with joining your palms. Place your palms, place your awareness to the tips of the middle fingers. Place your palms to your knees. Now we will do the head movements, starting from the left, front, right, back. Again. And again. Reverse direction. Right, front, left, back. Again. And again. Return your head to the upright position. Now do the 3 deep breathings. Make your palms like this and place the palms to the abdomen. The navel will be in the center of the oval shape. Breathe in to your nostrils. Bend your body down. Breathe out to your mouth. Up, breathe in. Down, breathe out. Up, breathe in. Down, breathe out. And up. Readjust posture. Sit correctly. Now check the entire body. Make sure that all the muscles are loosened. Once your muscles are loosened, then you use the scanning method. When scanned, then you're just aware of that part. Whatever that sensation are, just notice or just aware, that's enough. Start with your hair, where they in contact with the skin of your skull, aware of that part. Your forehead, aware of the sensation of the skin of your forehead. Your eyes, your cheeks, your nose, your mouth and your chin. And then to your neck, the skin, the muscles of your neck. Shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, your palms, fingers, your chest, the skin, the muscles of your chest. Your stomach, your back, the waist area, your buttocks, the touching feeling of the buttocks to the cushion. Put all your weight down to the cushion. Your thighs, your calves, your feet, return to the entire head, your upper body, your lower body, then the entire body that's sitting here. You're calmer and calmer. You may observe your breath. Just observe to see how it works. And then, very naturally, you will follow your breath. to your nostrils. In and out. If you feel that you want to use the counting method, then go ahead. Count your breath from 1 to 10. If you have the method that you're most familiar with, then just use it. Don't mind your wandering thoughts. They come and go by themselves. All you need to do is don't follow them. You are working on your method right now. Stay with a clear mind. And of course, you already relaxed the entire body. Also relax your mind. Just pick up your method again and again. Please continue. When you hear the sound of the chime, tell yourself to come out of meditation. Take 3 deep breaths. Move your fingers. Slightly move your body. Gently join your palms. Place your palms to your knees and rotate your body from small circles to bigger circles. Reverse direction. And massage. Rub the back of your thumb so heat is created. And then press your eye sockets inward to outward. Then rub your palms. Heat is created. Put to your eyes. Release. Again. Rub your palms and wash your face gently. Below, inward, up and outward. And then place your palms like this. Right hand to the left temple, left hand to the right temple. And massage your head and the back of your head. And then massage your entire head. And then press the neck like this. Release and press again. Release, press, release. And then place your palm to the back of your head and slide down to your neck. And then your ears, squeeze from the edge and inward. And use your index finger to press here, this middle part of your ear. slightly press and then step it out. And then use your finger to rub the shoulders, the muscles of the left shoulder, and rub the shoulder joint. And squeeze the muscles of the upper arm, all the muscles. Rub the elbow. And then also inward. And then they squeeze the muscles of the lower arm. And then press this point where the thumb and the index finger meet here of your palm. On the other side, the right shoulder muscles, squeeze, rub the joint, squeeze the muscles of the upper arm, elbow, inward, lower arm, and this point. Your chest, one direction first, reverse direction, and then the armpits slide down to the abdomen. The stomach, one hand on top, one hand off the other. Just do one direction. Start from the left, down, right, up. Do it slowly. Just one direction. Now in the back, you grab the back where it's hard to reach. With the two hands, then use your knuckles of the fingers here to press the shoulder blade on the side, and then the other side. Then use the knuckles of the fist to press along the two sides of the spine. Then use the back of your palms, rub, crisscross like this. Then use your palm to rub the lower back up and down like this. Then now is your left thigh. Squeeze the muscles. The knee. And the calf. Now you find the the shin bone, and then the left side of the shin bone. Use your left hand, place to your knee, and then the ring finger will point to the middle finger will point to the shin bone, and then the ring finger, below, two fingers below. You find that groove, and you press, and you press, and you press, and then you press down. Finish with the left, now it's the right. Squeeze the muscles of your thigh. And then the knee. And then the calf. Squeeze the muscles of the calf. And find the right side, the right groove, the shin bone. Press, 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 and press down. Okay, now is the feet. Stretch the feet toward you, away from you, toward you, away from you, toward you, away from you, toward you, away from you. Rotate your feet. One direction first. Reverse direction. And then your toes, grab your toes, reverse, grab your toe, reverse, grab your toes, reverse, grab your toes, reverse, relax, and finish.
Selamat malam teman-teman semuanya. Saya persilahkan kita semua untuk silahkan membuka videonya. Mari kita sama-sama mengundang guru kita untuk memberikan Dharma teaching kepada kita semua. Kita tidak menunggu yang lain lagi. Let's join our palm together and bow. Please.
Good day, everyone. Let's continue. Today's day, Thursday. Komunitas Echo. July 30th, 2026. We'll talk on the platform Sutra. Instruction on seated meditation. Last time we ended with a few lines like this. So, Chan wisdom, seeing emptiness within existence. And it said, therefore, true realization of the unmoving self-nature is not achieved by discarding everything and then discovering emptiness.
that would be false. True realization is to see emptiness within existence. That is real Chan. It is not that we throw everything away and then find emptiness. Rather, amid conditions, we experience and verified emptiness directly. That was how we ended on July 23rd, 2026. Now let's continue. We give a practical example. Now consider the phrase, treat one another as honored guests. Is that real or is it empty? Well, it is both. Empty, yet present. Present, and yet empty. Suppose you treat your husband as an honored guest. But one day, you discover another person lying beside him on the pillow. At that moment, should you still treat him as a guest? From the standpoint of emptiness, you may say, it's empty. There is nothing to cling to. That has its logic, right? Only by thinking in this way can you avoid being overwhelmed by suffering and vexations. But does that mean you do nothing? Of course not. Although inwardly you may remain free from vexation, outwardly you must still respond appropriately. You must make it clear to your husband, this is not acceptable. You cannot say, everything is empty, so it does not matter. Because if you do, then today there's one person, tomorrow there's another. The whole family collapses in chaos. You may have the capacity to remain spacious and unaffected, but once others enter the situation, complications multiply. So inwardly, let the mind be empty, free from vexations. Outwardly, maintain order and clarity. It's important now, maintain order and clarity. The family must still function properly, but your own mind should not be burdened by afflictions. So we have a reflection. Now, this section brings Chan to a very subtle and mature point. Emptiness does not mean withdrawal. Emptiness does not mean passivity. Emptiness does not mean denying reality. Rather, see through, but still respond. Let go inwardly, but act appropriately outwardly. Be empty, yet fully engaged. That is the living wisdom of Chan. Okay. Now comes another words, what is meant by Chan Samadhi? So the master said from the Platform Sutra, good friends, what is called Chan Samadhi? Outwardly, to be free from attachment to all forms is Chan. Inwardly, for the mind not to be disturbed is Samadhi. If outwardly one clings to forms, inwardly the mind becomes confused. If outwardly one is free from forms, the mind is not disturbed. The original nature is inherently pure and inherently stable. It is only because upon encountering conditions, one gives rise to thoughts that the mind becomes disordered. If upon seeing all conditions, the mind is not disturbed, this is true samadhi. Good friends, outwardly free from form is Chan. Inwardly undisturbed is samadhi. This is called Chan Samadhi. All right, this is from translation in English. Somehow it's quite clear, but we still need to have more explanation in colloquial speech. So I'll do it again. Good friends, what is meant by Chan Samadhi? When the mind can remain free from attachment to all phenomena, whether they arise from nature, society, or one's own inner experience, that is called Chan. And when, in the face of all conditions, the mind remains steady, unshaken, undisturbed, unaffected, that is called Samadhi. If, when encountering external conditions, you become attached to appearances and cannot let go, then you are turned by those conditions. Your mind becomes unsettled, scattered, and even give rise to vexations. You lose your sense of ease and freedom. But if you can always remain free from attachment to appearance, then immediately your mind is without obstructions. It does not become agitated or confused. The Buddha nature is originally pure. It is originally unmoving. It is only because the mind becomes attached to external conditions, grasping, clinging, and discriminating, that it becomes complicated and chaotic. If, when facing all situations, your mind is not shaken or influenced, then this is called true Chan Samadhi. This is the Samadhi of the Mahayana. So, good friends, let me say it again. Outwardly free from forms is Chan. Inwardly undisturbed is Samadhi. So this way of explaining Chan and Samadhi separately, outer Chan and inner Samadhi, is quite different from the traditional explanation. This is the distinctive understanding of this Chan tradition. So we have questions. The saying of the original nature is inherently stable. So original nature here means self-nature. And self-nature means emptiness. Because it is emptiness, it is inherently pure. It is inherently stable. It is inherently unmoving. Then there are one called Chan Samadhi. Well, by definition, in Japanese pronunciation, Chan is called Zen. In Chinese, it is pronounced Chan. In Korean, it's called Song. And in Vietnamese, it's called Tien. And in Indian, ordinary speech, it is called jhana, J-H-A-N-A. And in classical Sanskrit, it is called dhyana. From the perspective of practice, it may be translated as meditative absorption. From the perspective of its essence, it may be translated as meditative concentration, or just use the word samadhi nowadays. From the perspective of its result, it may be described as a forest of merits and virtues. So there are differences in terminology across traditions. Chan or dhyana in China. So Chan, or in Mandarin it's called Chan, is the commonly used Chinese term, a shortened form of the Sanskrit dhyana. In India, similar practices are often referred to as yoga. The root meaning of dhyana involves contemplation, still reflection. It is a method for unifying body and mind. In the history of Indian thought, the term yoga has been used in many ways. In Buddhist esoteric traditions, the method of practice are also called yoga. And in the Yogacara, or consciousness-only school, the term yoga is likewise used. Its essential meaning is in accord with or correspondence. Through methods such as breath awareness, which we use, the scattered mind is scattered, focused on a single point, and brought into alignment with truth. So from a Buddhist perspective, this corresponds to what? Samatha, which is calm abiding. Vipassana, it's insight. In the non-Buddhist Indian tradition, there are also schools called yoga. However, the methods and objects of contemplation differ from those in Buddhism. So in general, yoga refers to the process by which, through meditation and contemplative practice. One attains samadhi and experiences a kind of union, either alignment with one's true nature, or in non-Buddhist traditions, union with a deity or higher principle. This entire process and its result may be referred to as Chan Samadhi. So, for some reflection of this, then this section clarifies something very important. First, Chan is not merely sitting. Two, Samadhi is not merely stillness, and neither is separate from daily life. True Chan Samadhi is outwardly free from attachment, inwardly free from disturbance. When the mind no longer chases after appearances and no longer reacts with confusion, then purity and stability are already present. Not something to be created, but something to be uncovered. Then further on, we have questions. Does the Platform Sutra's teaching of outer Chan, inner Samadhi, accord with general Buddhist teachings? Here, Buddhism also speaks of the 4 dhyanas and 8 samadhis. In Buddhism, when we speak of meditation and samadhi, we also refer to the 4 dhyanas and 8 samadhi. So, the 4 dhyanas and the 8 samadhis, this is a term, describe progressively deeper level of meditative concentration. In early Buddhism, they represent the highest states of meditative absorption, attainable through the cultivation of concentration. In Mahayana and Chan Buddhism, they are respected as profound states of meditation, but they are regarded as means rather than the final goal. Wisdom or prajna is needed to transform concentration into liberation. So let's introduce briefly about 4 dhyanas and 8 samadhis. The 4 dhyanas are the 4 stages of meditative absorption in the realm of form, Rupa Dhatu. Building upon these are the 4 formless samadhis, making a total of 8 samadhis. The progression is one of increasingly subtleties, which the body becomes quieter, the mind becomes more unified, coarse mental activities gradually cease, even attachment to refined states must eventually be let go. So the 4 dhyanas are what? Probably you have some idea. First dhyana, its characteristic is what? Free from the 5 hindrances. What are the 5 hindrances? They refer to sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and remorse and doubt. So first one is sensual desire. Second one is ill will. Third one is sloth and torpor. Fourth one is restlessness and remorse. And the fifth one is doubt. So for the first dhyana, it's free from the 5 hindrances. And therefore, joy and happiness arise naturally. The mind becomes unified. So here, 5 factors are present. 5 factors are present. 1, applied thought. 2, sustained thought. 3, joy. 4, happiness. And 5, one-pointedness. The meditator experiences great peace compared to ordinary life. Yet, subtle thinking still remains. We give an analogy. It is like entering a quiet forest after leaving a noisy city. So this is the first dhyana. The second one, thinking subsides completely. What remains are joy, happiness, deep inner unification. Concentration becomes effortless. The mind no longer needs to direct itself toward the object. We give an analogy of like a perfectly still lake, continuously fed by an underground spring. So this is the second dhyana, joy, happiness, deep inner unification. Then comes the third dhyana. Joy fades, and only deep happiness, equanimity, clear mindfulness remain. The excitement of joy is seen as another subtle disturbance. The state is much calmer than the second dhyana. We give an analogy like a lotus completely immersed in cool water. So that is the third dhyana. The fourth dhyana, even pleasant feeling disappears. What remains are complete equanimity, perfect mindfulness, complete mental purity. Pleasure and pain have both ceased. The mind is utterly balanced. The analogy is like a perfect clean white cloth covering the entire body. Then comes the 4 formless samadhis. After mastering the 4th dhyana, the meditator transcends attachment to material form. First is sphere of infinite space. Attention expands beyond all physical boundaries. There is only limitless space. Then comes the second sphere of infinite consciousness. The meditator realizes infinite space is known by consciousness. Attention shifts from space itself to limitless awareness. So this is the second formlessness. The second limitless. Then come the third one, sphere of nothingness. Even infinite consciousness is relinquished. The experience becomes one of the there is nothing. This is not annihilation, but the absence of any object to grasp. The third one. And then the fourth one is sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. Perception becomes so subtle that it cannot clearly be said to exist or not exist. This is the highest meditative attainment within conditioned existence. And still a little bit of question, why are they called the 8 samadhis? Well, it is the 4 dhyanas plus the 4 formless samadhis equal 8 profound states of meditative concentration. So to say, first dhyana, second dhyana, third dhyana, fourth dhyana, and fifth is infinite space. 6, infinite consciousness. 7, nothingness. 8, neither perception nor non-perception. What are their purpose? Well, the Buddha taught these states not as ends in themselves, but as supports for wisdom. They help practitioners by overcome the 5 hindrances. That's the first one that we know. First dhyana. Develop deep concentration. So concentration becomes deeper and deeper. Calm the body and mind. Cultivate extraordinary stability, very stable. And prepare the mind for insight. A concentrated mind can clearly observe impermanence, suffering, and non-self, which without wisdom, however, even the highest samadhi remains a conditioned state. From the Chan perspective, our teacher, Segong Shengyan, often emphasized that samadhi is not enlightenment. A person may attain deep concentration, yet still retain subtle attachment to the self. Chan practice, therefore, does not encourage practitioners to seek extraordinary meditative experiences. Instead, concentration should support the direct realization of wisdom. In silent illumination, practitioners cultivate a mind that is clear but without grasping, stable but not fixed, aware without discrimination. In Hua Tou practice, concentration gathers the mind into a single point of inquiry until the sense of self dissolves. Whether practicing silent illumination or Huatao, the essential principle is the same. Use samadhi to give rise to prajna. When wisdom awakens, concentration naturally becomes free from attachment. So we may give some idea again, just to review. So first dhyana, the main characteristic is joy, happiness, apply and sustain thoughts. And what is that goal? Is the 5 hindrances. The second dhyana is joy, which is the characteristics, happiness, and one-pointedness. And is let go of discursive thinking. Third dhyana is equanimity, happiness, mindfulness. And at that state, it also let go of joy. Fourth dhyana, its characteristic is pure equanimity and mindfulness. It also let go of pleasure and pain. Then come the infinite sphere. First of all, infinite space. One feels infinite, boundless space. And it let go of the perception of form. Then infinite consciousness. Its characteristics is boundless consciousness. And it let go of attachment to space. Then the third one, nothingness. So no thingness. It's let go of attachment to consciousness. Then the 8th samadhi, neither perception nor non-perception. Its characteristic is extremely subtle awareness and is let go of coarse perception. So we have a reflection. The 4 dhyanas and 8 samadhis demonstrate the remarkable potential of the human mind for stillness and clarity. Yet the Buddha consistently pointed beyond them. Even these sublime meditative attainments are conditioned and impermanent. Liberation comes not merely from entering profound state of concentration, but from using a calm and collected mind to realize the true nature of all phenomena. As Chan teachers often remind us, do not become attached even to the most peaceful state of mind. Let wisdom illuminate concentration, and let concentration support wisdom. These levels of meditative absorption were already known outside of Buddhism. From the perspective of non-Buddhist tradition, the 4 dhyanas and the 8 samadhis are considered the highest attainment. However, from the Buddhist point of view, these states are not equivalent to liberation. The Buddha himself entered the 4 dhyanas and 8 samadhis, many arahats are also able to enter these states. But even so, remaining within the level of the 4 dhyanas and 8 samadhis does not bring ultimate liberation. Why? Because these states are temporary. The lower the level of samadhi, the shorter its duration. The higher the level, the longer one can remain in it. But no matter how deep the absorption, one eventually emerges from samadhi. And once out of samadhi, one returns to the ordinary state. So while in samadhi, one does not break precepts, one does not give rise to unwholesome thoughts, but once the power of samadhi fades, vexations can arise again. Unwholesome actions can still occur. Therefore, samadhi alone cannot free us from samsara. Even the highest level of worldly samadhi still retain subtle attachment. As long as attachment remains, liberation has not been attained. One may remain in samadhi for thousands or even millions of years. But when that state ends, one still falls back into the condition of an ordinary being and continues to undergo karmic result. Thus, it is not ultimate. Then there come the so-called the 9th samadhi or liberation. From the Buddhist perspective, there is something beyond the 4 dhyanas and 8 samadhis. This is sometimes called the 9th samadhi, the samadhi of liberation, the samadhi of nirvana, the cessation of perception and feeling. This is the true consummation. In the 8 samadhis, there are still subtle forms of perception and mental activity. Even in the highest state, neither perception nor non-perception, there's still a trace of conditioned existence. These include stages such as the sphere of infinite space, the sphere of infinite consciousness, the sphere of nothingness, the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. Above the 4 dhyanas, form realm concentration, lie these formless attainments. Here the word form does not mean physical matter, which is, we have talked about form realm and formless realm. So this word form does not simply mean physical matters. In English, it is translated as form, not material or color. This is a very precise rendering from Sanskrit. Form here refers to phenomenal appearance, which includes physical phenomena psychological phenomena. The form realm still includes subtle mental processes. The formless realm, on the other hand, transcends ordinary mental activity. Yet even there, a subtle sense of self, a kind of spiritual attachment, still remains. So in the form realm, mental phenomena still operate. In the formless realm, mental activity becomes extremely subtle. Yet self-clinging is not completely gone. Thus, even these exalted states are not liberation. So there's a question. Is the platform sutras Chan Samadhi different from ordinary Samadhi? Yet, yes, it is quite different. The platform sutra presents what is called the sudden Chan method, whereas most traditional systems teach gradual cultivation. Gradual practice proceeds step by step. Sudden awakening is immediate. Conventional meditation emphasizes seated practice. In general, meditation practice, especially the 4 dhyanas and 8 samadhis, relies heavily on formal sitting meditation. Within Buddhism, this is further developed into the structured system of 9 progressive stages of samadhi. The first 8 do not bring liberation. Only the 9, cessation of perception and feeling, leads to true release. What is it that is released? Or what is extinguished? Well, it's psychological processes and the deeper layer of spiritual attachment, the sense of self. When both are relinquished, liberation is realized. At this point, many people become afraid. If everything is let go, even the self, then where am I? Well, this fear is very common. Even now, we cannot let go of our homes, our possessions. How could we let go of the self itself? It sounds terrifying. So one might say, then I'm better not practice at all. But in reality, what is being let go is afflictions. And what appears is wisdom. When Buddhahood is realized, nothing is lost. Rather, one becomes completely free without obstructions. So I will stop here at this point.
Thank you for your support. I think we have time for to proceed for wake-up room, please, Sir Sultan. As usual, we will be divided into groups to discuss about today's topic. Thank you. Sifu, sorry,
Uh,
Sifu.
I can hear nothing.
Wait, Sifu. Please unmute. I think it's better for me to repeat the question again. But before that, Sifu can unmute yourself. I have pressed us to unmute. Jadi tadi di grup saya ada pertanyaan tentang silent illumination.
Somehow,
As we know, Huatou is where you put all the concentration into the Huatou, the word. But I just want Sifu to explain more about silent illumination. Thank you, please, Sifu.
okay, anyway. Okay, now. Well, first of all, is silent illumination. Silent is not disturbed. It's at peace. Illumination is clarity. So from the very beginning, or from a very shallow kind of silence, we are not disturbed by obvious things. And later on, as we go deeper, deeper, you could be not disturbed by even a minimal things. A subtle thing, I think. Yeah, subtle better than minimal. Subtle. So your silence go deeper and deeper. And illumination is the same, that you could be, in the beginning, it's just like, okay, you're awake, you know what's going on, that's all. But later on, the clarity of the mind go deeper and deeper. All right. So these two things work together until a certain point that one relinquish this self-centeredness. So self-centeredness is cut off. So there's come the realization. So this is the approach of silent illumination. So you sit and with clarity and without wavering of the mind, but it goes from shallow to deeper, deeper. All right. Until causes and conditions are ripened, then your self-centeredness is dissolved. So that is silent illumination. So the clarity is always there, and the undisturbed is always there. While in Huatou, you just work with one question and continue on, continue on, continue on. In the process, you also feel clarity and you also feel undisturbed, but you still stay on with the Huatou itself until the doubt get developed. And get developed, first of all, is the doubt, the questioning of the doubt sensation. But the doubt could be engulfed into yourself, that you become one with the doubt. And it is called the mass of doubt. And only when this mass of doubt is shattered, then you get enlightened. So the approach is different. But the result is the same, that you come to realization.
So, Fu, why just now you say that the more deeper our practice is, the more we are do not disturbed by the subtle things, not the other way around. I thought that the deeper our practice is, we are in, like when we have major thing happen.
Well, it's like this. One is the power is very strong. The attachment is very strong. Then it held with the deeper power, the strength that we have. All right. Now, subtle things. I use this word subtle rather than minimal. The subtle things that we don't recognize. Now, because of the clarity, we know that, okay, this is still there, but somehow we are indifferent before. Our mind is not clear enough to see it. That's what I mean by subtle rather than minimal, because small things you could let go easily. So that's the use of word that in the beginning may be a little bit inappropriate to begin with.
Okay, thank you, sir. So silent illumination, is it possible that if we practice in daily life, it can just come to a very small realization that will also give us like the feeling of, hey, I was wrong. Like the ego or the self-ego is kind of like become broken or lesser. We realize that it actually not like that in a daily life. Possible.
Well, certain thing you could come to realization, and certain thing you could let go of. Yes.
So can I say that we are in a state of silent illumination, so even though
as long as clarity is there, as long as you're not disturbed, stay. Yes, fine.
okay, understand, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there any questions for Safu from the other?
So we already returned now, so let's go to transfer of merit.
Okay, Safu.
Please join your palm. We pray for the flourishing of Buddha Dharma, for peace in the world, for the joy and contentment of all people, for the freedom and ease of body and mind. May sentient beings depart from suffering. May the vows of the donors be fulfilled. 我一向佛法兴隆，世界和平，人民安乐，身心自在，众生离苦，施主愿遂。好。Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Let's all come together and give respect again to Safu. Bow. This is Safu. Thank you.
Thank
you, Safu.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good day.
Bye,
Bye.
teacher.
Terima kasih semuanya. Terima kasih Tuan Gus, Ko Iman, Cik Megan, Cik Sisil.
Bye.
Bye. Good night. Good rest.
Bye. Briefing ya. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thank you, Si Xiao Zhen.